is a teeny weeny little crock pot that I got at a lawn sale this summer for $3. That is a bunch of wax melting. Got that wax off eBay. Great bargain, and I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. Over here, my little tray. Here's my Strike Anywhere matches. Penley is the name of these ones. There's a container of face pads and a couple of other things that I may or may not need. But that's basically all I need. Now, there's also the red tissue paper that I wrapped them in. Okay. The crockpot idea I got from Dino because I had seen him using one in his video. But paraffin wax. So it's become really useful in survivor mode because a lot of people found out you waterproof things with it. And I've found it anywhere from $3.99 for a 1 pound box all the way up to $7 something for the 1 pound box. And inside of that 1 pound box would be 4 little slabs. I went through so many of those boxes when I was making my little fire starters, the one everybody calls Cape's cherry bombs, that were in fact the little piece of Fatwood wrapped in cotton, and then I dipped them in wax because I dipped them in wax so many times to make sure they had a nice coating on them. I was going through those boxes like crazy, and it was getting kind of expensive to make those things. So I started looking for another source of wax, and I decided to look on eBay, and lo and behold, there was somebody selling a 10-pound block of paraffin wax, and you had to bid on it. And I think I paid $15 for it. So when you consider that I was paying, on average, $6 a pound, that would have been a $60 chunk of wax that I got for $15. So it's a great bargain. When it came in this big, huge box, and I immediately set about chopping it up in smaller squares and putting them into gallon-sized Ziploc bags. So why am I making all these fire starters? The idea came to me to make an assortment of fire starters to make with a little kit. The kit part I haven't found yet. I actually was looking for diabetic travel kits because in mine it's a small pouch with a zipper, and it has a little molly strap on the outside of it, and then inside is a little tiny zipper mesh bag. Then there's a couple of more elastic straps on the inside, and I thought that's kind of maybe the way to go. So I'm still looking. I haven't found anything that's really suitable for me. And then I thought, well, they're not waterproof either. But everything I'm making that goes inside of them is. So what I was thinking of doing eventually is that when I gather a bunch of these different fire starters together, I'm going to make these little kits, and then I'm going to be ready for my next giveaway. So that's why I'm doing all the fire starters. Now I want one that has a more a longer burn time, and that is where I'm thinking Fatwood, but I'm still working on that. So that's where I'm going with all this. And as I make these ones, I'll show you the rest of the process. So, I've been thinking and thinking. Everybody knows that Fatwood burns the best. Better than face pads, better than dryer lint, anything. It starts right up, burns really hot. But it needs to be lit. So here we are. Striking anywhere matches. And I've got a nice little stick here of my Fatwood. And the first thought that came to mind was, what if I took a piece like that and I put the match like that. But see, now it needs to be held together. You just can't simply dip it. And then I'm concerned how big it would be if I wrapped it in the face pad. Well, let me just take a quick look here and see what it looks like. Piece of Fatwood. Continue to roll it up. And then let's get this puppy dipped in the wax. We shall see if this is a successful venture here. Obviously, as time goes by, the wax is getting a different degree in there, different temperature. It is hot. Like I said, it still doesn't burn my fingers, but I can tell it's hotter. So I would caution anybody who's going to try doing it that way. Alright, here's a funny looking one right off the bat. And then what I've been doing is, as you can see, the wax starts to cool on my fingers immediately. And I just had a pair of scissors here that I was just scraping it off. Comes off real easy. Only I was doing it right over the pot so it won't right back in. That's all. Trim it down a little bit here. The other thing about this paper is it allows me to really squeeze that, and it gives me like a grip. Whereas before, when I was just rolling it and trying to squeeze the wax into the cotton, it was kind of slipping. But this paper really grabs it, so I can really put some force on there and squeeze it hard so that that I know the wax is getting squished all the way into the center, as well as it's keeping more of a uniform shape as I go along. So that didn't take much more time than I thought it would be. Of course, it would be a question of getting all the Fatwood lined up and batoning it into the small size and the length that I want it to be. So I have a bunch of little sticks ready to go and see how that burns. So there's the first one, and it doesn't look much different than the others, but you saw it's the other piece of this little Fatwood. Alright, here we are in my garage again. And we're going to do the test of the new fire starter. This is the one that I just made, and it has the piece of Fatwood inside of it. Alright, so like I did before, I'm going to scrape the wax off the tip. And I'm not sure if that's showing up on camera, but it's coming off. You just do it lightly. I mean, I don't want to strike the match. Move my lighter out of there because we're not using the lighter. These are self-starters. Alright, let's see if I can make it work like I did the other one. And again, this is the one that's a match wrapped with a piece of Fatwood is in there. There's a cotton pad all the way around it with a little bit of petroleum jelly, and then I sealed the whole thing with a piece of red tissue paper. Here we go. Oops. Okay, so it still lights, that's good. I'll set it on the top there for a minute. Okay, so now we got it going. Let me get it inside there. There she is. Right back there. And again, I'm not timing this. And I probably should. So let me go check the clock, because I'm going to say that we are 30 seconds in. Let me go check the time. I think the Fatwood is just ignited, because as you can see, the flame has changed, or at least I hope you can see it. It's a big flame now, and I can see the black smoke starting to come up off the tip of the flame. Definitely a much bigger flame now. So definitely the Fatwood is burning. So it's been burning for 3 minutes. Alright, and she is finally going out here. I believe it's 9 minutes we're at. And then you can hear the charcoal of the Fatwood crunching as I push on it. Alright, so that was a 9-minute one. Not too shabby.